Today I feel African. Today I feel gay.
Gianni Infantino has once again found himself at the center of football controversy. This time, not for a new tournament format, not for another commercial deal, but for something far more damaging. The growing belief that FIFA is no longer neutral.
Con mucho, siempre muy generoso con nosotros.
Gracias, un abrazo a toda Argentina y felicidades porque el corazón.
From Argentina's controversial win over Egypt to Donald Trump's call over a US player's red card suspension, fans are asking the same question. Is football still being decided on the pitch? Or is it being shaped by politics, money and power? On July 8th, 2026, Argentina faced Egypt in the round of 16 at the World Cup. For most of the game, Egypt were in control. They were leading 2-0 with just 11 minutes left. Then came the turning point. Mostafa Zico scored what looked like a crucial second-half goal, but after a VAR review, it was ruled out for a foul in the build-up. Then, late in injury time, Egypt appealed for a penalty after a challenge involving Mohamed Salah. Nothing was given, and moments later, Argentina scored the winner. Final score, Argentina 3, Egypt 2. For Argentina, it was a historic comeback. For Egypt, it felt like a robbery. The Egyptian Football Association later criticised the VAR decisions and reportedly submitted a formal complaint to FIFA. Former players and pundits also questioned the consistency of the officiating. But the reaction online went much further. Fans weren't just blaming the referee, they were blaming FIFA, they were blaming VR, and most importantly, they were blaming Gianni Infantino. Within hours, social media was filled with accusations. FIFA is rigged. Argentina is being protected. Infantino wants Messi to win. This is not about blaming Lionel Messi. Messi is one of the greatest footballers of all time. His talent, his legacy, and his achievements do not need to be defended by FIFA, referees, or anyone else. He does not deserve to be blamed for refereeing decisions. But that does not mean outcomes involving him should be above questioning. Because when the biggest player in the world is involved in the biggest tournament in the world, every controversial decision becomes bigger. Every VAR call becomes a debate. Every comeback becomes a storyline. And every decision that benefits Argentina makes fans ask one uncomfortable question. Does FIFA benefit from Messi staying in the tournament? That question is not proof of corruption. It does not prove the match was fixed, but it explains why the reaction was so intense. Because football fans are no longer only watching the game, they are watching the business behind the game. Argentina are not just another national team, they are the defending world champions. They have one of the biggest fan bases on earth, and with Messi, every match becomes a global event. More viewers, more headlines, more clips, more emotion, more money. So when Argentina survive in dramatic and controversial circumstances, people do not just see football, they see a product. And that is the real problem for Gianni Infantino. Because under his leadership, FIFA has become bigger than ever. The World Cup has expanded. The Club World Cup has expanded. The commercial machine has grown. FIFA now presents itself not just as a sports organisation, but as a global empire. And when a football organisation becomes that powerful, the question changes. It is no longer only who deserves to win. It becomes who is most valuable if they win. That is why the Argentina controversy hit so hard. But it was not the only controversy surrounding FIFA. Just days before, another incident raised even more questions about Infantino's FIFA. This time, it involved the United States, following Balogun and Donald Trump. Balogun had been shown a red card against Bosnia-Herzegovina, which triggered an automatic one-game suspension. That suspension would have ruled him out of the USA's round of 16 match against Belgium. Then, according to reports, Donald Trump called Gianni Infantino and asked FIFA to review the decision. Soon after, FIFA lifted the suspension. Balogun was allowed to play. Trump later acknowledged that he called Infantino, but said FIFA made the final decision. Infantino also said the case was handled by FIFA's independent judicial bodies. But for many fans, that explanation did not solve the problem. Because the issue was not only the decision, it was the optics. The president of the host country calls the FIFA president. A player's red card suspension is reviewed, the punishment is lifted, and suddenly the player is available for one of the biggest matches of the tournament. Even if Balogun's red card was harsh, even if the decision was technically allowed, and even if FIFA followed its own process, the damage was already done. Because it looked political, it looked powerful, it looked like football decisions could change when the right people picked up the phone. And that is why the backlash was so strong. Belgium were reportedly furious. Critics questioned FIFA's integrity. And once again, Infantino's name was dragged into the center of the debate. This is the pattern fans are noticing. Argentina gets controversial decisions in a massive knockout match. The United States gets a red card suspension lifted after Trump contacts Infantino. FIFA insists the processes are fair, but fans do not believe them. And that is the real dark truth behind Gianni Infantino. It may not be that he personally controls every match. It may not be that FIFA is secretly scripting football. The darker truth is that FIFA has become so political, so commercial, and so powerful that fans no longer trust it to be neutral. Infantino did not create every problem in football. He did not invent corruption allegations. He did not invent bad refereeing. He did not invent the relationship between sport, money, and politics. But he is the face of the system now. And when the system looks broken, the face of the system takes the blame.